Good morning. At least I'm guessing it's good morning for you. It could be good afternoon. I'm not really sure who's on. All right, so today we're going to make a Valentine's card out of the Luck Dragon. I love this little guy. I think he's super duper cute. He can be colored in so many different ways, and today we're going to color him in a very unique way, I think, depending on how this turns out. So there we go. We're going to figure this out. And yeah, that's where we're at for right now. So I'm trying to get my Facebook up and going on my computer. It's, doing its thing. I'm also going to use this Everyday Sentiments. I know this is going to be a Valentine's Day card, but I really want to use this Thinking of You sentiment. And I have a good idea. Or I think I have a good idea anyways. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start by setting these aside. I have stamped my Luck Dragon, and I have also stamped him on Gina K Masking Magic. This is my second favorite masking paper. I like the Inka Dinka Doo stuff a little bit better because it has a little bit more porous of a surface, and it seems to stick better for me. But this is more readily available, and you can get this, obviously, Gina K, ThermoWeb, Scrapbook.com, all those different places. So I really like this Masking Magic. I do have several packs of it, and I like it just fine. So I stamped him on that, and then I cut him really close to the lines, or even on the lines if I could. So there's that. I'm going to set that aside, and we're going to start by coloring our dragon. Now I want to color this dragon in a very, very different way. So I'm going to color him gray. And I know that sounds super duper odd, but that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to start, I kind of like to start with T7. 5, 3, 1, and then I pull in my colorless blender. Now I could go with T0, but I just don't for some reason. I like to pull in my colorless blender so it feels like I'm coloring things in the center, even though I'm really not. It's just a mental block for me. So I'm going to zoom in for y'all. Here we go. And I'm going to start with my 7. Now, when I'm coloring, especially when I'm coloring things that are large and intricate like this, I like to break off pieces. So I like to break it down. So I'm going to start, and I'm also doing a stippling technique. I love doing dragons and mermaids with this technique, and it's just little tiny polka dots. So you don't have to worry about being super duper smooth blending and all of that kind of stuff. You just use these little polka dots and you make them more intense where you want the darker shadows. So up around where his tail comes out of his body. And then you just spread them out a little bit more where you want to blend. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing up here to this end of his tail. Try to be as random as you can with them. The more vertical you hold your marker, the smaller your polka dots will be. So it's New Year's, everybody. Who's watching? Hey, Milligan, what's cracking, girl? I don't know why my Facebook on my computer isn't loading. So I'm going to leave that And then, so I'll be capping and uncapping my markers a lot today. It's New Year's! Yay! Do you have any New Year's traditions that you like to do? I know my parents, growing up, they always ate black-eyed peas on New Year's. I don't know if they still do that. It wouldn't surprise me. But my mom always made black-eyed peas on New Year's. Not my thing. I have never been a fan of black-eyed peas. I like the music group. With Fergie and will.i.am and all those. I like those black-eyed peas. Milligan, did you have a New Year's party last night? Did you go out? Feeding the dogs. I'm listening. My puppy would be so angry if I waited until 10 a.m. to feed him. Oh Lord, Archie's an early riser. Archie's New Year's resolution is to bark at more things. I don't really do the whole New Year's resolution thing, but I use it as a time to reflect on what I did last year, what I can improve on this year, set goals for what I want to do, make some plans, all that stuff. I mainly use it as a time to work in my planner and set up my planner. I love doing that over New Year's break. Okay, so this is my T1. I sometimes come back into those darker colors to kind of saturate them a little bit, make different colors. Fill in any white spots, all that stuff. And then, like I said, mental block, I need my colorless blender. And again, I'm going to come into the center of this. Awesome. Just adds a different texture to it. All right, so that is his tail. Now I'm going to move on to his hindquarters here. So again, I'm going to shadow where I think there would be shadow. So that is behind where this front leg comes out. And his flank. His shoulder, well, really his back where his shoulder covers it. His forearm kind of goes over his knee right here. His leg goes over the top of his foot. The bottom of his foot, I feel like could always use a little shadow. His little hindquarters back here, I'm going to add a little bit of shadow too. Okay, it's not a ton, but some. I see people coming on. Let's see. Hi, Paula. Good morning, if it's morning where you're at. So moving to T5. I'm going to do around his little toes. And the bottom of his foot. And this stipling technique is honestly such a good technique, especially if you're new to coloring. It helps you to gain marker control. It helps you to really look at your shadows and your colors. Helps you to understand the way the markers interact with one another. So I highly recommend, especially if you're a new colorist, to color something using this technique, because you're not so worried about blending and making smooth blends and all of that stuff that can get in the way mentally. And so I really think that this is a wonderful technique to start with. Excuse me. I guess maybe I should have taken that allergy pill today. Happy New Year, Paula. Thank you for joining me today. I figured I'd go on just a tiny bit later today because people would be recovering from being out in the living room all night long. Not me. I was totally in bed by 8:30. Yep. Reading my book. I read a lot. It takes me a really long time to fall asleep, so I go to bed pretty early and shut off all the devices so that I actually have a chance of falling asleep at a somewhat decent hour, so that I can wake up at a decent hour, which Michelle totally calls an indecent hour, and so does Sandy. But Michelle, my husband gets up at like 4:30, sometimes even earlier than that. So for me, getting up at like 6:37 is more realistic than getting up at 4. Like my husband slept in today until 5. Okay. You're back. Now you can answer all the things I was talking to you about. You just woke up again. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so now I'm actually going to skip this part and I'm going to do this part. Why? Because it's smaller and that's what I want to do. So again, I like to cut off small pieces to figure out what is the easiest for me to do. And I'm just not ready to do that really big piece yet, so I'm not going to do it. Rotate the paper so that my wrist is in a comfortable position. Adding my stipling. Some people call this pepper shading. Some people call this stippling. It just depends on where you're from and how you read it. There's a lot of different words, pronunciations. Okay. Sorry, I don't know what they were. Tara was talking to me. Well, tell Tara, shh. I'm just kidding. I can't wait to meet her one day. Anyways, I said that I know you think that I get up at a crazy hour, but my husband gets up at 4 or 4:30, so by comparison, I don't get up at a very crazy hour. 6:37 is not crazy at all when you compare it to getting up at 4 or 4:30. And then I said, do you have any New Year's resolutions? Or what do you like to do on New Year's? Do you have any traditions? And then I said, Archie would totally be angry at me if I waited until 10 o'clock to feed him. Melanie, Happy New Year. You can answer what I just asked Michelle. Do you have any resolutions or traditions for New Year's? My parents usually always eat black-eyed peas for New Year's. I don't like them, so I've never done that. And that's the only time of year that they have them, is for New Year's. Something about it's supposed to bring prosperity or something throughout the year. I don't know. He's nuts. Yes, you're correct. I just survived the New Year, right? Girl, same. I said I came on late today so that y'all could recover from your New Year's parties that you went to. You know, the party in the living room in your pajamas. That's the one I did. And I was in bed by 8:30. Right? They were all mad at you for not feeding them right away. Okay, you guys. So, if you'll forgive me just for a second, I'm going to turn on my heater because it's cold in here. My craft room, one wall is all windows. And so it gets a little chilly at times. And right now it is all of 34 degrees. So, yeah. Okay. So now we're going to do this big part in front that I've been putting off, but I'd rather do that than his face, so we're leaving his face for the last. So the more vertically you hold your marker, the more control you have, and the smaller these little dots can be. I'm going to go behind this muscle here in his shoulder. I submitted all my stuff for coloring classes for the Stampin' Scrapbook Expos this year. And Sandy submitted all the stuff for the new dies. Coffee. And so we have new project dies coming out for the Mega Make and Take and for the Make and Take in our booth. So you guys are going to want to check that out. I have a new coloring class this year. You're going to want to check that out. January, the release is going to be the second weekend in January. And we have so much cool stuff to show you guys. I'm really excited. So be ready for that. You have to submit your class plans, and you have to submit your Mega Make and Take plans to the expo by the middle of December with photos and, you know, product photos and class outline and all of that stuff, because then they have to be able to get it to print for advertising and stuff. So they have to have time to get the magazines printed and the advertising and stuff done. So yeah, there's a lot of building blocks that go into all of that. So you have to know very well in advance. We already had to submit our coupon for the expo and all of that stuff. This new release has no stamps. There's your hint. It is all things you're going to want, and you should plan on being there. Is that a good hint? No way. Not exactly as planned, but super duper cool nonetheless. Very excited. Sometimes when you're new to things and you try new things, things don't go as planned. But that's okay, because we roll with it here at Sweet Sentiment, and we figure it out. Because we know that you guys are awesome, and you want these things. These are all things that have been requested, and really neat and innovative things are happening. Sandy actually showed one of the products. I've shown one of the products. So we got lots of stuff going on. Not gonna want to miss it. And you're gonna want to be early to purchase because things, I'm guessing, are probably going to sell out. And so then we'll have to restock. Like, I already have things being reordered because I know we didn't get enough. But we're a very small business, and you have to be careful about funding and money, and it's been the holidays, so, you know, maybe. Wink, wink. Wink, wink. All kinds of good stuff. This is a great technique if you've had too much coffee. You could really pull off some great stipling, probably really fast too. When you put a Red Bull in your coffee and then everything is just like in fast forward. When you see noises. Oh, that's a yes. You don't know it's a yes. Oh my gosh, this little dragon is so cute, you guys. No, heck no. Hard pass on that. Really hard pass on that. With my anxiety disorder, do you really think, like, that would cause a seizure right away? Just thinking about it makes me want to have a seizure. But I'd be really good at this technique. I could thread a sewing machine without turning it off. Okay. Were you concerned for me there for a minute? I was concerned for me there for a minute. Oh, Milligan, you make me laugh. Melanie's back. Hi, Melanie. Melanie's watching. Okay. So now we're going to do his face. And again, I'm just going to come in. I'm going to hold the pen really vertical because I want these scales to be small. I want to keep the shadow back as much as I can into just the places in the extreme shadow. Okay. Gonna shadow around his horn and under this jewel here. We're gonna shadow around this horn, behind his eyebrow. Okay. I'm gonna put a little bit of shadow on his lip because it's underneath. I'm going to add some shadow around these little ridges in his nose. Kind of give those some dimension. Okay, I think that's about all I'm going to do with that. No, I usually drink my coffee black. Most of the time I'll put like a teaspoon of raw sugar in it, like the turbinado sugar. I usually take my collagen in my coffee, so I don't put any cream or anything like that in it because the collagen to me tastes like creamer. I know it doesn't. It's supposed to be flavorless, but whatever. So, but that's just the way that I have become accustomed. So if I get frou-frou coffee, designer coffee, I usually get a vanilla latte, non-fat, no foam vanilla latte. I don't like a bunch of foam in my latte because to me then it makes the vanilla too strong. I also like caramel lattes or caramel macchiatos. But for the most part, 99% of the time, if you see me drinking some sort of designer coffee, a Starbucks or a Moxie or anything like that, it's either a caramel latte or a vanilla latte. Just going to go around his nostrils a little bit here. Kind of make them have a little shadow. Cut down on the Starbucks. Yeah, agreed. Unless you're at a show with me, then we can enable each other. Right? I'm glad you were so willing to agree to that. All right. He's coming together, guys. He's coming together. This technique does take a little bit. I'm not going to lie. It takes a minute to do. But I just love it. I really do. Nobody's very talkative this morning. I thought I gave you guys extra time to recover. Michelle, on weekends, is 11 a.m. a good time for you? Or is 10 a.m. better? Or could probably do as late as noon, but then that's kind of runs into the whole lunch hour thing. Waiting for the coffee to kick in. Melanie, same question to you, if you're still here. I don't know who else is here. But 11 a.m. works great for me. I can do 11 on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 10 is better. I can do 10 on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I know you won't be here on Fridays. I understand. Now, I realize that I missed this little part down here. So I'm gonna real quick like do that. All right. Okay. So now, I am, like I said, I'm gonna make this a Valentine's card. So I'm gonna choose some pinks to make his hair pink. Just Saturday at 10, Sunday anytime you want. Well, I kind of want to keep them all at the same time so that, you know, it's easy. I used to do 10 a.m. Friday, Saturday, Sunday at 10 a.m. So I can totally go back to that, and I would be a happy little camper. Me, myself, and I would be a happy little camper to do that. Okay, so we're gonna start with RV19. I pick my colors on the fly. Yeah. All right. His hair makes me laugh. So I'm just doing little brush strokes, holding the marker really close to the nib so that I have the most amount of control. Barely touching that nib to the paper so I have nice, thin brush strokes. My brush strokes are going in the direction the hair would grow. So you can see the artist drawn lines, giving you an indication of which way. Okay, now I'm going to go this direction for anything that is tucked in. Just like that. Oh my gosh, look at that bright spike. Another resolution. I've already unfollowed 3 people on Facebook. Good. Good for you. I'm proud of you. I really need to take the time and remove business people from my personal page and personal people from my business page, but seems like a lot of work. And I'm really not on Facebook very much, to be honest. I post sweet sentiment stuff, and then I'm out. Right. Nope. Ditch the negativity, my girl. All right, RV14. I'm just basically stair-stepping down this color blend. So if you're wondering how I'm choosing these colors, I'm just kind of stair-stepping down this RV blend. Because I love this color. It becomes kind of like a salmon type color, and I think it's really pretty. And also it's very vibrant and bright, and that's what I'm looking for in this card. Super cute. I love his little mohawk. It's adorable. Okay, so RV13 is next. And this color really tints the other colors, so I'm going to go fairly far back into the shadow to kind of overlay this color. I'm just not going to add a whole bunch of ink because I don't want to wash out the texture. Okay. And then I'm going to use RV10 and just kind of add a little bit of highlight back in here. Again, be careful with this one because you will wash out all of your color. So I just add a couple of brush strokes and then I move on. Wait for those to develop before I come back and add any more. Okay, look at him, he's so stinking cute. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna give him kind of purplish horns and belly, but I don't want him to be overtly purple. So we're gonna go super pale on the whole purple spectrum here. So I'm gonna start with BV04. And I'm not going to worry about all of these little scales. Sandy did an amazing job of drawing them all in. And so I don't have to do that work. I am just going to color them. Just like that. EVO2. And I'm only going to use a 3-color blend for this, in case you're wondering why I'm filling this in so much. Because I don't feel like it needs any more than that. And then I'm going to use BVOO. Oh, look at that little guy. He's so cute. Okay. Now, I am going to take this color and I'm going to color in all of these. Just because I want an underlay for them. I'm going to do something very different with them, so no worries on that. And then I think that I'm going to use these pink colors again to color in his little gemstone. Okay. I'm going to use the purple on the outside. I don't know what you're talking about, Milligan. I got no clues. Okay. So then I'm going to make his eyes purple as well. So I'm going to start with this really dark BB08. Just like that. Then I'm going to add BB04 from the outside going towards the inside. Now, purple and yellow make brown. So I'm not going to use the yellow that I normally use. I'm going to use this BVOO. And then I'm going to add, hey, Tiffany, Happy New Year. And then I'm going to add this green for some depth. Did you work last night, chickadee, or did you party last night, or did you go to bed early last night? Hi, Linda. Right, Milligan? Okay, so we have this. So then I'm going to grab my multi-liner, and I'm going to fill in his pupil. And I think that I'm actually going to make him into a girl, because I'm going to add some eyelashes. Oh, thanks, Gail. You can color too, I promise. I teach coloring classes at all of the Stampin' Scrapbook Expos, and we're doing a couple of the Stampin' Scrap art tours this year. This is 01, and I'm gonna add eyelashes. Come on now, y'all, that's adorable. So yeah, feel free to join. Oh, you took one in Mesa? It's different this year, so feel free to sign up again. You'll get green markers this year. And we're gonna focus more on the techniques this year and less on the flower scenario. I had a lot of people that really wanted to, that came up to me after class and were like, I really want an hour of just how the pens work. So can you do that? And so I created a class that is pretty much an hour on how your Copics work. So that, my friend, is what we were doing. So I'm going to go back to this RB10, because now that we decided she's a girl, she's getting pink toenail polish. All right. So then I'm gonna grab. Yes, that's what a lot of people ask for, Gail. So that's exactly what I'm doing. So hopefully I'll see you in Mesa again. That would be awesome. Oh my gosh. There we go. Okay, now I'm also going to add a little bit of highlight to her horns. And then I'm going to add some white dots into the lightest spots. And this is going to make those scales really pop. Going to bring those highlights forward. Oh my gosh, she's so stinking cute, you guys. And I'm going to add some little highlights to her nails. Because she's got to have shiny nails, right? Okay. Oh, glitter on the toenails too. Milligan, you're all in. All in for all the glitter. Okay, so this is silver. And that is white, so this one is glitter. Okay. Yes. So we're gonna glitter in her scales. Or her, whatever this is. I'm not up on my dragon anatomy. Milligan wants glitter on her toes. I'm going to add glitter on her tummy. And I'm just tracing the scale lines. And that will give us just enough glitter that she's sparkly without being like, whoa, over the top. Okay. And then I like to add a couple of strands of glitter to her hair. And I always touch the glitter so that it's not like one perfect line. It kind of spreads it out. Okay. There's our glittery little dragon. Now is when the fun begins. Are you ready? So we're gonna zoom out. Is Carrie here? Hi, Carrie. Late, but hello. Happy 2024 to you too. So I'm going to peel this mask. Milligan, are you so excited? I have a mask again. And I'm gonna line this up. Oh. Okay, flip this over. Ooh, more masking. Adorbs, cute. Okay, then what I'm gonna do, we're like double masking here, my people, is we're gonna take our frog tape. Now, I like to line this up on my mat. This is from Glassboard Studios. And decide where I want this so that I have a nice straight line. Okay? Trying to make decisions here. All right, we're just gonna roll with this. Okay, So since the dragon is pink and purple and gray, I'm going to use greens for this. So I'm going to grab Rustic Wilderness, Mowed Lawn, and Twisted Citron. So let me go get my brushes. There it is. So in this instance, I'm going to start with the lightest first, which is Twisted Citron. Then I have Mowed Lawn. Then I'm going to go back to my Twisted Citron brush and make sure that's a nice even transition between those two. And then I'm going to grab my Rustic Wilderness. Oh, it's intense today. Okay, and then again, I'm going to go back to my Mowed Lawn. And then my Twisted Citron. And see how that makes a nice pretty ombre out? That's what I'm going for. Okay, and I'm gonna grab my spray bottle, and this is just a distress sprayer. I'm gonna do short pulls because if I do long pulls on the trigger, it will get a fine mist. So if you do little short pulls on the trigger, you get bigger droplets. Then I'm gonna grab a tissue. Tissues for your issues. Okay, now I'm going to very carefully peel this. Nice and slow. Have patience. Because we don't want to ruin our mask. And we don't want to peel paper off the front of our card. There we go. All right. So now gonna grab the Misty. Put my tape back because I don't need it anymore. And I'm gonna grab this Thinking of You. And I have not used that stamp before, so I'm gonna use my finger and kind of rough it up just a little bit. And I'm gonna place this right underneath the dragon. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna put it right here. Okay. Oh, wait, I think I have glittery embossing powder. Let's see. White, clear, Earl Grey. Here we go. Clear Sparkle. Oh, you guys, we got Clear Sparkle embossing powder. Hey, Cheryl. I'm actually feeling fantastic. Thank you for asking. Okay. So I am going to grab a piece of paper. And I'm using Versamark for this because it stays wet longer. I always like to double stamp. Oh, I forgot to use my powder before I stamped it. Well, we'll see how, well, it's just clear glitter, so I guess it'll be all right. I forgot to use my anti-static brush. And I'm gonna put the lid on this right away, otherwise y'all know what's gonna happen. This is Wow embossing powder, Clear Sparkle, just in case you're wondering. I am going to turn my heat gun on and let it get warm. If you don't let it get warm first, it'll just blow all of your embossing powder away. Okay. Need to grab a card base. I need to put the lid on my ink before I stick my arm in it. Y'all know that's a thing with me, right? The girl who does not like to get inky, like, totally lays her arm in the ink, and then it becomes a bad day after that. Now, one of my trademarks that I really like to do is I like to round corners. So we're going to maybe round opposing corners. My corner punch just decided, there we go, just decided to get stuck. All right. So then what I'm gonna do is my favorite part. You guys know my favorite part. Hey, bestie. Are you guys ready? Oh, Sandy, you came at just the right time. You get to see the best part. Are you guys ready? Especially since you weren't here, you don't know what's underneath this mask. Now it's gonna be like super epic. Ready? Oh, right? Drum roll, please. Okay, let me find my Luck Dragon packaging. And then I will put this directly over there so I have it to use for next time. Okay, so then I love that sparkly embossing powder. Super cool. So then we're gonna take our glue. I'm always gentle pulling the bear out because I don't want to pull the bear off the pin. And then Barely Art Glue gives you just a second that you can kind of line everything up, squish it around. There's Archie. Beautimus. Thanks, Milligan. Okay. I like to stamp my card. I happen to have a pink pen right here, so we'll use that. And then, I mean, there's no good card without some bling, and I happen to have this sitting here from yesterday, so we're gonna bling it up. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Throw in the pearls. 1, 2, 3. I forgot where I put the glue. All right, my friends, there it is. There's our cute little Luck Dragon Valentine's card. I hope you really enjoyed this as much as I did. I had a lot of fun today. Thank you for joining me. Of course, the replay is always on YouTube if you miss it. Sandy, those faces really... Oh, hi, Lori. It's usually bots that come in. It's AI, so it's not any of our people that are giving sad or angry faces. It's AI stuff. And so they do that to bring algorithms down. I don't know why. So if you guys can just thumbs up and hearts and smiley faces and all that good stuff, then it outdoes the sad face, and then it doesn't matter. So there you go. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate it. I'll post a picture of this later, and then of course, like I said, it'll be on YouTube. Thank you for joining me. I will see you next weekend, and I will be on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 10 a.m. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday all at 10 a.m. So see you guys then.